Good morning. I'm just going to jump right in this morning. 2012, Discerning Information, Knowing Our Timeline. Yesterday, I heard two YouTubes about where we are in the shift and changes happening. One was David Wilcock and the other was Alex Collier. David was on Coast to Coast, and Alex was interviewed by Carlos and was talking about how the prophecies of Revelation have to play themselves out. They were completely different scenarios of what we can expect. How can we know which is telling the truth? Let me click over here to another page. First of all, I have, for the most part, always appreciated both of these gentlemen. I have listened to numerous interviews and read much material produced by David Wilcock, and even though I was very upset at him and am still disappointed that he did not interview Tim Turner following his interview with Drake, nevertheless, I have for the most part resonated with the material that he has put forth. And Alex Collier is another one that I've listened to, not quite as much as David Wilcock, but I have listened to some things going way back. He was contacted by extraterrestrials, and some of his information I always found was, well, it resonated with me, point blank. Bottom line, I mean, I felt good about much of what he was saying. If he had been someone that I had not resonated with, I probably wouldn't have even taken time to listen. But I did take time to listen all the way through to both the long thing. I was doing other things. When I say listen, I mean listen. I'm not necessarily watching. I'm listening to what they're saying, and I'm doing other things on the computer while I have that playing. That's how I do much of my interviews and stuff like that. I don't watch them, I listen to them. Anyway, I made this comment on my Facebook page under where the Alex Collier interview had been posted. And I said, I listened to the entire interview and have always respected Alex. I still do. He is going through a very difficult time in his life and needs our prayers and support. I don't know about the 3-hour video or audio he was recommending, but I do not resonate with the information Alex described. I know that when I am in the darkest places, as Alex is, I am much more prone to receiving negative messages. Please bear that in mind as you listen, knowing that Alex's filter may be a bit clogged due to his current stress. No blame, just understanding. And one person commented, yeah, I know what you mean. This is Jody. I don't buy into the Steve Quayle and Tom Horn propaganda, basically, is what she's saying. And that was the video that Alex had listened to that he was referring to. And David, as always, has us on timeline 1, which is ascension, which is the positive changes that are going on, which is the arrests, which is the things that have to happen to shift us from the system of control and the matrix that we've been in to literally a new paradigm, a new experience of ourselves as human beings. Alex was saying that, based on listening to the Steve Quayle, Tom Horn video, that we have to go play out all of the dark scenarios of the book of Revelation, basically timeline 2, that the Illuminati are still in control and that they're going to be in control for a while longer. Eventually they will lose that control, but they have to play out their roles in this whole scenario. This dark interpretation of Revelation has to play out, and it will. And it's going to be a few more years of hell, 3 or 4, whatever. I don't remember exactly how many he said, but a number of more years of hell, and it would be, I guess, maybe 2017 before we could expect the positive changes to occur. I don't buy that. He did say that he's familiar with David Wilcock and Benjamin Fulford and some of these others, and he greatly respects them. I'm talking about Alex now. Greatly respects what they're saying, but he believes that they are wrong. Even though I didn't resonate with what Alex was saying, I chose to listen because there was much personal information that he was revealing right up until the very end of the video, in which he said that this could probably be, he was ready to do one more interview after that one, and he didn't know how much longer his internet service was going to be on, and he might have to go to the library even to send emails from now on, because he doesn't even have money for food. So he's in a very desperate situation right now, personally, in his life. And I understand that. When I got to that point, I understood. I understood why he was painting such a dark picture with such dark strokes, because that's what he's feeling. That's what I meant by his filters, his current filters. I'm sure I didn't go back and listen to my own videos right at the time when they actually sold my house back in February, but I'm sure it colored what I was saying. I don't know that I totally went over to losing hope. I doubt that, but I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen, and I rarely go back and listen to my videos. I rarely do. But I'm sure that when I am in a place where things are looking dark, that perception is going to color what's coming through to me and what's coming out from me. It's inevitable, folks. That's part of discernment. We have to sense these things. Not always are they even spoken. So sometimes you have to feel your way through it. And I was happy that Alex, at the very end, revealed much about his situation that gave me the information that I needed to help me make proper discernment. I was able to see, okay, he's hurting. I mean, he's scared. For him, it doesn't look like there's a light at the end of the tunnel right now. He eventually way down there, but first he's going to go through some hell. Okay, I get that. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about discerning information. Where each of us are going to go through our own karma, if you will, and we're going to work out our own stuff. And it's going to happen in our lives, and it's happening at an accelerated pace. But overall, this pace is picking up, and I still look for 2012, 2013 to be the time that these changes are actually being brought in. I don't look for it dragging on 3 or 4 or 5 more years to 2017 or whatever. Some even have predicted longer than that. I don't resonate with that. Now, how are you going to discern what I'm telling you? Because I have great hope and great expectation for it to be done as quickly as possible. And I believe there's value in that. If I believed we were going to have to go through 10 more years of this crap that we've been going through with the cabal and the negative matrix that we've been living in, I would have probably made different decisions on how I handle. I would have probably acquiesced to some of the things because I didn't see light happening quickly enough, and I don't know that I would have had as much courage to stand in there and stand up for my rights and stand up for truth. I would have been more easily disheartened. And I'm just looking at my own psychology of this, and you need to do the same thing. Look at your psychology. How do you feel if you think we're going to go through 5 more years, let's just say, 5 more years of hell on earth? And the extraterrestrials aren't, as David said, stopping World War III, stopping the most evil and horrendous plans of the Illuminati to maintain their control. How does that scenario make you feel? And how does it make you feel knowing and believing that, yes, we are receiving help from extra-dimensional beings, angels or ETs or whatever you want to call them? We are receiving the help that we're looking for. How does that make you feel? I suggest to you that we have a role by how we respond to things, which things are going to happen, which timeline are we going to be in? Are we going to be in the timeline that allows the dark parts of Revelation, the wars and all the pestilences and all the terrible things that break forth on the earth? Are we going to have to play that timeline out? Or have we gone beyond that timeline? You are going to have to make a decision for yourself. And it's going to affect, it may not affect everybody else's life, but it will affect your life. It will affect how you respond and the decisions that you make in the personal things that are touching your life and that you're facing in your window of opportunity. What energy are you putting into it? What energy are you getting out of it? That's all of this has to do with discernment and with determining your particular path, your particular unfolding into the new paradigm. We're all going to unfold into the new paradigm. That's happening. There's no way that can be stopped. The question is, when? I believe, and I feel very strongly, because I resonate very strongly with the things that Benjamin Fulford said and David Wilcock said, and yes, even Drake and Tim Turner and others that, from my perspective, seem closer to sources that reveal what's going on than I do. I don't have any inside track to the Pentagon or to the high up players on the world market. I have resources within myself that I go and as soon as I finished listening to Alex Collier, I went into a period of meditation before I made the response that I read to you earlier. I mean, it was probably 30 or 40 minutes at least that I had meditated. I had stopped and I prayed for Alex because he's in a tight situation. And I had to go into my own higher self, into my own essence, to determine which to believe, what to believe, and how to see it, how to frame it for myself. So these are some of the processes that I have to go through and some of the observations that I'm sharing with you so that you can determine for yourself how you're going to handle information that comes to you and circumstances that you have to deal with. And know, I want you to know that great good is coming our way. Great good is happening. This is the shift of the ages. This is an accelerated time of human consciousness exploding with possibility, what possibility becomes the reality? Collectively and individually, we determine that. And I ask you to keep looking within to your essence and looking up in the respect of looking for the highest good, instead of looking down and seeing only the lowest possibilities. Look for the highest possibilities and put your energy there. That, to me, is wise discernment. That is love. That is where we need to be, and it is where I encourage each of you to be. And once again, I thank you for listening. Namaste.